In this video I want to tell you about my 4 most worn watches in 2023. I like watching some of these videos and see what people choosing to wear the most every day, especially those with big collections. Sometimes it's a really unorthodox choice, so let's do it. First watch I want to talk about is my Grail watch. And this watch was number 1 for me. This is the Rolex Explorer II 16570, and this Rolex Explorer II was my most worn watch in 2023. My path to this watch is quite interesting. I got into watches back in 2002 and I loved many different watches through the years. But one of those stick with me. It was vintage Rolex Explorer II with cream dial. While the cream dial was and still is quite impossible to get, the Rolex Explorer II Polar has become one of my Grail watches. Many years and many ups and downs later, I ended up getting that Grail watch and I love it a lot. Fun fact that this Rolex Explorer, as I mentioned, is also from 2002, so it's kinda closing my 21 years path of the watch collecting. I wasn't sure how the wide dial sports watch would be for me for my everyday wear, and I can say that this is great. Interestingly, people usually say and consider the black dial watches to be the most versatile, but with this Rolex I found that the white dial is actually amazingly goes with everything, for me personally. I was wearing this Explorer for many different occasions. I did not have a problem even wearing it with a sport coat or a summer suit for a wedding. My only concern about this watch is that the watch is quite old and it could be fragile to some extreme conditions. I wasn't testing this watch in a really rough conditions, but I was wearing it as my everyday watch. It did well and stood test as my everyday watch, and it's actually perfect. And I think that if I would have to choose one watch, this watch probably would be my number 1 candidate to be my one watch. Another watch I want to talk about, my IWC Mark 18 Le Petit Prince edition. This watch has second place as my most worn watch in 2023. This IWC I love a lot, and I think it's also goes great as an everyday watch, and I really enjoy wearing it. I'm wearing it right now on kind of NATO strap, and I think it goes very nicely with this khaki NATO kind of strap, but with the original leather strap, it can be even more as a dressy watch. IWC Mark 18, this is the watch that I wasn't planning to get until I had it for review. I fell in love with it. It's not perfect, with some weird things about this model. I would even say it's far from perfect. But despite all these small imperfections, I liked it a lot. In fact, I liked it so much that it became my second most worn watch of the year. Rolex and IWC, they in my constant everyday rotation. They usually go side by side. One day I wear Rolex, another day I wear IWC. And then in between I wear other watches. The third place took this Omega Railmaster. This is a great everyday watch with its design, dimensions and specs. It's boring and plain at the first glance, but something about this model excites me. I love the perfect symmetry of the dial. It has its vintage vibe, but the package is very modern. But the watch is powered by Meta certified master chronometer, anti-magnetic Omega movement with 55 hours of power reserve. The Fox vintage patina indices and hands are filled with a pleasant blue superluminova lume. Every part of the watch is brushed with no polished piece. Along with the rough finish of the stainless steel dial, it gives the watch a true tool look and feel. The dial is incredible and provides interesting wearing experience. It's hard to see at the first glance, but on a wrist the dial comes alive. It's like one of those chameleon dials that change their colors and appearance in different light. From one angle you can see only lume markers and lume hands, from another you can see the black numerals and brushed hands. The heavily brushed dial changes from very light gray metallic color to a very dark gray. Interesting that from any angle the watch is readable. When you look at the dial straight, it all comes together with great symmetry. I was wearing this watch on a different leather or NATO straps, and I think it is a strap monster, and the right strap can elevate the watch. But after experiments with straps, I ended up wearing it on a bracelet. It is a very stealth on a wristwatch. There is a slim chance that non-enthusiasts will recognize it or be impressed by this Omega. And this is a very good part of this watch that I like. This is the watch that you buy for yourself, not for the others. And the third place was occupied by this Tudor Black Bay 58 blue dial. It's been 2 years already and I still love this Tudor Black Bay 58. I think that this watch is one of the best offerings for the money on the market today. I think that in general Tudor delivers a very good value for the money. With this watch you are getting a great and timeless vintage inspired diver watch, 200 meters of water resistance, in-house COSC certified movement with 70 hours of power reserve, and a great suitable for most wrist dimensions. I was wearing this Tudor also in many different occasions. I was traveling with it, hiking, swimming. I even tested it successfully in a water park. I am not babysitting this diver. I have no visible scratches or damages on the case. I must admit that in 2023 this Tudor saw some strong competition in my collection, and as I said, it went to the third place in my daily rotation. But sometimes when I come home wearing another watch, I put my beloved Tudor Black Bay 58 and spend an evening with the watch. So these are my 4 most worn watches in 2023. It's interesting that sometimes you buy a watch and you would not expect it to be one of your favorite, and it's strange how it become your favorite, because when you open your box you instantly drawn to these particular pieces. I think that's how you distinguish a very good watch, because that's the watch that you want to wear the most. So these are my most worn watches in 2023. Let me know which watch or watches you wore the most in 2023. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye now and take care.